What's going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. A little special show here. Got the trade deadline coming up tomorrow at noon, so I think we got a lot to get into, Laker fans. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I'm gonna give the channel kind of a second to get everybody in here, um, and then we could get started here. All right, we can get started. To give everybody just kind of a quick rundown what we got going on in the show. Like I mentioned, trade deadline tomorrow at noon. So if the Lakers are going to make a move, it's obviously going to have to come within the next, 15 hours or so, 14 hours or so. I got a few things I'm going to get into. Woj, D'Lo trade, far less likely. I'm going to talk a little bit about that article and what's going on there. Brian Windhorst, DeJounte Murray talks cold. Also saw something on Hoops Hype. Let me try to find that right here. I just saw this. It just kind of came away. Pelicans Hawks held trade talks involving DeJounte Murray and Clint Capella. So I'll get through that article a little bit. Yahoo Sports, Andre Drummond less likely for the Lakers. Look at us. We're basically going to be 0 for 35 by the trade deadline is done. Donovan Mitchell potentially in the summer. All right. A lot of things would have to go the Lakers' way if that's going to happen. We'll get into that as well. How far can the Lakers go with no move, and how much should the Lakers accommodate to LeBron James? So you guys can see we got a full doc here of things to talk about. If you guys want to be a part of the show, a couple things. Number one, if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, would always appreciate that. Number two, throw in your comments. I'm going to do my best to get to your comments. If you throw in a super chat, 100% we'll get to this super chat. It's been a long time since I've done this. A little story time with Sleeve. I got a story I want to tell you guys. I'll wait to the end. Okay, I got a story I want to tell you guys. Okay, let's get started here. Trade deadline tomorrow at noon. It's interesting because everybody's kind of looking at the situation for the Lakers, and I think everybody's got their opinion on it, right? If the Lakers, they have to make a move. If they don't make a move, what are they doing? Are they not committed to winning? Don't they know LeBron is 39 years old? Don't they know that they have to do something? Look at the team right now. They're just 2 games over 500. They clearly need to make a move. And then there's the other side of it that's like, all right, but is there a move out there that's going to save them this year? Is there a move this season that you think is going to take the Lakers from where they're sitting right now in the Western Conference, 9th in the West, or wherever they're sitting? And is it going to make a significant move to now all of a sudden, hey, watch out for the Lake Show? Lakers can go toe-to-toe with the Pelicans. They can go toe-to-toe with the Nuggets. They could go toe-to-toe with the Clippers, who coming into tonight's game, I know they're playing right now, have the best record in the Western Conference. There's a couple different angles on this. And if we thought it was just a lock that the Lakers were going to make a move a month ago, I don't think that's a guarantee anymore. Okay. So there's a few things, and I want to get into this Woj one real quick, which is the D'Lo trade, far less likely. I'm going to spend some time on that in just a quick second. I do want you guys to know, as far as the comments go, I want to introduce somebody to the channel. So I got an intern here that is getting some school credit over at San Diego State University. Big Laker fan, grew up here in LA. His name is Sammy Long. So Sammy's going to be helping me out in the background here with the chat. So if you got some good comments here, he's going to star them for me and kind of help out. And then if he, stars the wrong ones, I'll just say, Sammy, what the hell are you doing, bro? What the hell are you doing here? No, I'm excited to have him here. I'm excited to kind of see where this is all going to go to kind of have that ability to start working with some students and help them kind of get into the business that I'm sure a lot of people would like to get into. So shout out to Sammy Long that's in the background here on StreamYard. Again, Sammy, I swear if you screw it up today. I swear if you freaking screw it up. So intimidating. So intimidating. Okay, let's get into our first article. Woj, D'Lo trade, far less likely. So I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell is the conversation around the Lakers, period. Whether you like him, whether you hate him, whether you're indifferent, D'Angelo Russell's the name that has been thrown around here now for a bunch. Adrian Wojnarowski, who did his podcast earlier today. I want to read a quote that he has here from his podcast talking about D'Angelo Russell. He says, D'Angelo Russell, playing the way he's played over the last several weeks, I think has changed the view of it in LA. That I'm not saying it's impossible for them to trade D'Angelo Russell. I think it is far less likely, and the idea anymore that you have to incentivize a D'Angelo Russell deal, incentivize putting him in a deal because he's got that guaranteed money next year. I don't think that's how the Lakers are looking to incentivize moving on from D'Angelo Russell. There's a lot to unpack here. There's one quote specifically that I'm going to stay with here that I think, to me is the most important. When he says that, I think basically what D'Angelo Russell has done over the last several weeks, he says, I think that has changed the view of it in LA. That I'm not saying it's impossible for them to trade D'Angelo Russell. I think it's far less likely of an idea to incentivize. I got to be honest with you. I don't know how much I believe in that. I don't think the Lakers, I get D'Lo's been playing some really good ball. In his last 16 games, the Lakers are 10-6. He's averaging 22-6 a game. Okay. So I get D'Angelo Russell's playing good basketball. I 100% believe if the Lakers found a deal that they thought was a good deal to trade D'Lo, they would have done it. I do. And if that's for DeJounte Murray, what was the deal that they said was on the table? It was D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and their 2029 first rounder. If the Atlanta Hawks called them tonight and said, hey, guys, we've sat back, we've waited for different offers to come in, we want to do this deal, that's the best offer, is it still on the table? I think the Lakers would say yes. That's my own personal belief. I think the Lakers would say yes. I don't believe what he's done in the last 30 days all of a sudden changed the entire tune on how the Lakers feel about D'Angelo Russell. Again, that's my own personal opinion. Some people might look at it differently. Maybe, that is what's happened to the front office. I just don't believe that. I still think that if the Lakers, and I've kind of laid out my reasons. Part of my reasons are D'Lo's got a player option at the end of this year. Part of my reasons are I think the Lakers, there's still question marks about D'Angelo Russell. To have somebody have a really good 30 days, I don't think is going to sell you on what that person has been in his career, or maybe what some of your concerns are coming into the playoffs because of how he performed in the playoffs, but specifically against the Denver Nuggets. We do know this, just some additional info on D'Lo. I saw this. Dave McMahon reported on Tuesday, the Brooklyn Nets, Toronto Raptors, or Atlanta Hawks are potential landing spots for Russell if a trade happens. At one point, there was conversation that the Atlanta Hawks were looking to find a third team. Hawks might be a long shot because the Hawks don't have interest in taking Russell back, and his contract includes $18.7 million. Bleacher Report had this kind of all laid out, which is, I think they did a really good job here, but that just kind of gives you an idea of what that is. I did mention D'Lo, the 22 points, 45% three-point shooting, 6.5 assists in his last 16 games. That's what he's done since January 7th. And, Laker fans, you guys can tell me how you feel about D'Lo, and if what he's done over the last 30 days is enough, or if you were, hoping that a deal would get done for D'Angelo Russell before the trade deadline. I think the fact that Woj is saying that it's far less likely, that D'Lo trade is far less likely than it was in the past, I believe him. I'm paying attention to that part of it. I just don't believe the last 30 days completely changed the Lakers' tune. And they're saying, oh, no. Look what he's done these last 30 days. No. We don't want DeJounte Murray anymore. Or we're not giving you a first rounder anymore. That's the portion that I personally don't believe. So let me read some of these comments here. Look, D'Lo's fascinating. He is. He's a polarizing player. Everybody has an opinion on him. I think you could sit here tonight and make a case why you want to play out the rest of the season with D'Lo And I think you can also make a case that you'd like to, obviously move on from D'Angelo Russell as well. So my biggest case against D'Lo is I like DeJounte Murray. My biggest case against D'Lo is I'd like to have DeJounte Murray on this Lakers team, and I like the fact that he has a 4-year contract that starts at the end of this season. That's when his extension kicks in. I like that. I would like to see DeJounte Murray on the Los Angeles Lakers. Maybe that's more of a personal preference. I'm a fan of his game, and I'm a fan that his contract means he's going to be on the Lakers for years to come, where you're not 100% sure on the D'Lo front. Okay, let's read some of these comments here. Screw this up, Sammy. I swear, Sammy. All right, let me see some of these here. Okay. So, a couple things here. Here's one. I'd rather us wait for Donovan Mitchell rather than DeJounte Murray. We're going to talk about Donovan Mitchell, and we're going to talk about what that could be in the offseason and the chances of if Donovan Mitchell came to the Lakers and LeBron was here and Anthony Davis was here, what that would look like and that type of a blockbuster move. We're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about the risk of waiting till the summer. Because if you think Donovan Mitchell is just walking over to the Los Angeles Lakers, it's going to be no problem. There are going to be other teams like the New York Knicks or whoever else trying to compete with the Lakers. You'd be surprised by that. But that's a good topic, and we're going to get into it a little bit later. Let me read another one. Lakers don't settle for mediocrity. Either we make a move or blow it up and trade LeBron and get ready for our future. William, I appreciate you being a part of the chat here. So, yeah, they're in an interesting spot. They are. There is a portion of this conversation that is how much do you accommodate to LeBron? If LeBron wants to see a trade happen, how much are you sitting back saying, well, we better make a trade happen? I'm not a big believer in that. I mean, I kind of have a different viewpoint on that, to be honest with you. I mean, my viewpoint, and I'll get a little bit more, I'll get a little further into the LeBron case and LeBron's world. But yeah, I'm all about the Lakers finding a way to help the Los Angeles Lakers. Bron is 39 years old, so he's going to be 40, obviously, playing into next year. All right, let's sounds like Clippers lost. Lee, Clippers of Fugazi. Tonight was weird. And Sammy actually pointed this out. I'm going to mention Sammy a few times here. So Sammy is interning here on Hoops Talk. So he's in the background here on StreamYard at an undisclosed location. We can't give out Sammy Long's information, okay? He said to me, said something to the effect, he's like, it's better if the Clippers win tonight because they're playing the Pelicans, and Pelicans, you go look at the standings, Lakers are trying to catch the Pelicans. They're trying to catch a lot of teams, New Orleans, Sacramento, Dallas, all that. But he said, but I can't root for the Clippers. So kind of like, screw it. I think a lot of people feel that way. That's how a lot of people feel here. All right, so I guess the Clippers lost is what people are trying to tell me here. All right, let me see a couple more of these. Clippers lost. All right. Kings lost to Detroit. What the hell's going on in the NBA tonight? The hell is going on in the NBA tonight? All right, Pistons. Damn, beat the Kings by 13. Pelicans beat the Clippers by 11. All right. Got some surprises there. Definitely wasn't expecting that. Okay, let me get into a couple more of these comments that I want to get into here real quick, and then we'll go from there. Some people trying to make sure they don't give up their pick. Okay, here are some of the D'Lo comments I want to get into. We would have more wins if we kept Dennis over D'Lo, I believe. A lot of people would like to see Dennis Schroeder back with the Lakers. Can DeJounte Murray even play in the bright lights? D'Lo can. Well, I don't know about that. You know, first off, we don't know what DeJounte Murray can do yet. We don't, because he played for a Spurs team that wasn't that competitive, and he's in Atlanta now, and it's not that competitive as well. It's a fair question. We don't know. But you can't say D'Lo can play in the bright lights. He was on the brightest lights that you can't get any brighter. It was Western Conference Finals. You're a starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, and they couldn't let him play in the games. He was getting torched on the defensive side. He wasn't hitting his shots. And, like I said, before you know it, D'Lo was sitting next to Darvin Ham on the bench there. So I don't know about D'Lo can. I think if you want to make the argument that we don't know what DeJounte Murray can do, that's a fair argument. But saying that D'Lo can in the bright lights, tell me when you saw that. If you want to make some arguments, look, he hit some big shots against the Memphis Grizzlies, had some moments against the Golden State Warriors. Fair. That part I give you. But you really didn't know what he was going to do on a night in, night out basis when he was playing for the in that run last year. All right, Gabe and seconds for Dennis Schroeder, possible. I'm telling you, there's a lot. I get a lot of chats that I read. I probably don't read the comments enough here about Dennis Schroeder. A lot of Laker fans want to see Dennis Schroeder back. I think it is much more likely that the Lakers make a small move like this than go get DeJounte Murray or go make some blockbuster move. It doesn't sound like this. To be honest with you, this is one of the quieter trade deadlines I could remember around the entire NBA. It's one of the quieter deadlines I can remember in the entire NBA. Is that possible? I think the Toronto Raptors, they're open for business. So we'll see what the Lakers can do. I think Dennis Schroeder can probably get you. I don't think the Lakers want to give up on Gabe Vincent. At least not just yet. I think they think that, obviously they'd like to have him back. He was supposed to be a part of the plan this year. And I don't know what Toronto, I don't know how much value he's going to have in Toronto. Okay, let me keep going to some of these stories because there's a lot that I still want to get into. Can we please stop overrating Murray? It's a reason why two bad teams didn't want him. It's a good case. You can make your case. I would make the case that he'd be the third best player on the Lakers. Young player, can play defense, can create for himself. We saw him in that game against the Atlanta Hawks. Looked smooth, looked calm, cool, and collective. Now, D'Lo's has looked all of that as well over the last 30 days. So I don't think I can't push back too much on the D'Lo stuff. 30 days ago, you couldn't make an argument. Today, you can make an argument for D'Lo. Somebody likes the jacket. Michael, I appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes you got to bring out the jacket. Not all the time. Sometimes. You'll be very strategic. Got to be very strategic here. Okay. All right, so far, Sammy, good work on the stars. Okay? On starring some of these. Okay? So far, you're doing a good job there, brother. But just one screw up. Don't know how this company works here. We're cutthroat here at Hoops Talk. Sammy's our intern right now. He freaking screws up once. Done. On the spot. All right. Brian Windhorst. We'll walk you guys through something Brian Windhorst said a little bit earlier today. So that was all the conversation about first, the chatter about Woj on his podcast talking about far less likely that the Lakers probably deal D'Lo. And then we saw on the Hoop Collective podcast a little bit earlier today that I'm going to read this from Brian Windhorst, who's the best. I think the Lakers-Hawks talks have been, I don't have the up to the second thing, but I think they've been pretty cold. Does not mean they cannot restart quickly, but I don't think that was something that was at least in the last 24 to 48 hours that I heard much about. So we'll see what happens there. Sounds like everybody's just basically saying that this chatter between the Lakers and the Atlanta Hawks is cooling. I will tell you this as well, something to keep in mind. The Hawks don't have to deal him. if they don't like the deal, they could just say, you know what, let's wait till the summer. So they can easily do that. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. So Windhorst and Woj basically saying that there isn't too much activity right now. There was another article a little bit earlier, and this is from Yahoo Sports. Andre Drummond less likely for the Lakers. Okay, let me read this one because I think again this is another interesting one that was out there. Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports reported that both Western Conference teams, he's talking about the Lakers and the Houston Rockets, have been categorized as less likely outcomes for the 30-year-old big man, despite previously showing interest in a possible trade. Let's see what they got here. Fisher noted the Bulls still have eyes on the postseason. This is, again, a Bleacher Report did a nice job of kind of synchronizing this entire story, and may decide to hold on to their main players for a late push. They're 24-27 and in ninth place in the Eastern Conference, so they are at least in position to make a move in the play-in tournament. We know that Zach LaVine out for the season, Lonzo Ball out for the season. So maybe because the Bulls have been playing better, I have no idea if that makes them, try to be a little bit more cautious with getting rid of Andre Drummond or DeMar DeRozan, even though I think both of those players are playing on expiring contracts, are going to be free agents at the end of the year. I know Alex Caruso, they're asking for, they feel like they can get a first or I think it was a first rounder is what they wanted to get. What was the deal that they wanted for him? I can't remember off the top of my head. There was an example that the Chicago Bulls were looking for some capital. Let's put it that way. So on the night before the trade deadline, it sounds like at least up to this point, there's a lot less likelihood that the Lakers are going to make any of these moves with any of these players that we were talking about or that were associated around the Lakers. Hoops Hype does a really good job, just up-to-date rumors always going on. I haven't really even seen anything on there that I feel like is worth it. I saw some stuff about Klay Thompson talking about, he's not really paying attention to what's happening. Obviously would like to stay Golden State Warriors, all that stuff. But there's where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't feel like there's any smoke. So I feel like incredibly quiet on that front as well. Okay, I want to get into the Donovan Mitchell stuff here in 2 seconds. Let me look at a few more of these comments here and see what we got going on. All right. Ship sailed on Kyrie Bo. Mark Cuban ain't doing Lakers any favors. Yeah, I don't think. Dan Inspiration, I appreciate you being a part of the show. Y'all ain't is happening there. Yeah, I think if the Lakers were going to make a move for Kyrie, that would have happened when he was with the Brooklyn Nets. And even that wasn't going to happen because I don't think they wanted to trade him to where Kyrie wanted to go, which is probably why they sent him over to Dallas. Drummond can't run the floor no more. Okay. Some of these comments all over the place. Okay, let's get into the chatter about Donovan Mitchell in the summer. So I've seen a couple people put it on the comments here already. And listen, it's not a crazy thing to say. I'll give you an example. I do my radio show on 710 ESPN. Do it with Travis Rogers in the morning. And Travis is under the belief of, I think we both agree on hey, if you can't find a move that you feel is advantageous right now, then just don't do a move. You're only 2 games over 500. You could lose against any team in the NBA. I don't think the Lakers have shown if they were 15 games over 500 and you felt like, hey, they're a move away. They can hang with Denver if they could address this, then go do it. And who cares about what you're giving up? You know that your window is right now. I don't know what the Lakers window is. But I see a lot of people saying that let's wait for Donovan Mitchell in the summer. Let me read off. Bill Ryder had put out a tweet a little bit earlier today. Sources tell CBS Sports that a complicating factor on whether or not the Lakers acquire an impact player in the next 24 hours is the belief within the organization they could have a chance to acquire Donovan Mitchell this summer. Knicks also could be in play. I got a couple things I want to look up real quick on Donovan Mitchell's contract. I know he's got 1 year left on his contract. Does anybody know if Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he is, if he's a clutch client or not. All right. Sammy, I need you, brother. Can you find out, Sammy, if Donovan Mitchell is a clutch client or not? Just go ahead and put it in that private chat there, buddy. So he's got 1 year left on his contract. Listen, if you told me, let me make sure I'm very, very clear here on Donovan Mitchell. If you told me Donovan Mitchell is a Los Angeles Laker this upcoming summer and they're starting off next year with Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a damn good team. And it accomplishes a couple things. Number one, it accomplishes a legitimate chance to go win an NBA championship next year. It also accomplishes the goal of taking less off of LeBron because you have Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Davis that can probably carry you through the season. It also accomplishes the goal of LeBron or of Anthony Davis, Donovan Mitchell, post LeBron James. That's your starting point. Cool. Go figure out the rest of the roster. Bron's money obviously at some point comes off the books. I know it's more complicated and it's not that simple, but there's your bona fide third best player on your team, Donovan Mitchell. Think about Donovan Mitchell's career. He was the best player on the Utah Jazz and had a lot of success in the playoffs, is not afraid of the big moments. Donovan Mitchell is an absolute baller. In Cleveland, what's going on with Cleveland right now is for any chatter about, hey, this thing's not going to work in Cleveland, he wants out, or maybe they want to go in a different direction. The Cavs have been balling. Why would they move Donovan Mitchell? Look at them right now. They're 33-16. They've won 7 games in a row. They've won 9 of their last 10, and they're in the number 2 slot right now in the Eastern Conference. So is it a guarantee and a lock that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to want to shop Donovan Mitchell? I don't know if it is. Now, the reason why it would be is because next year would be the final year of his contract, and I guess Donovan Mitchell is not a guarantee to stay there at all. Sammy Long, who is helping out here, says Donovan Mitchell's agent is Ty Sullivan from CAA, so it's not obviously a clutch client. So Creative Artists Agency, I think, is CAA. So, Sammy, good work there, brother. I was just trying to see, is there that connection there? So I'm gonna go back to what I was just saying. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I'm not telling you that Donovan Mitchell's not a baller. I'm not telling you that Donovan Mitchell wouldn't be a great fit. What I'm telling you is a lot of things have to happen for the Lakers to land Donovan Mitchell. A lot. There was a story that I did actually a YouTube video on with you guys on here that Dave McMenamin had. And this was a couple weeks ago. I'm going to read you exactly from this because Dave McMenamin was basically saying Lakers have 3 options before the trade deadline. Option 1 was they don't do anything. And in his article, he said, the Lakers currently have only 1 future first-round pick available to trade, but starting on the day of the NBA draft, they'll have 3, 2031, 2029, and either 2024 or 2025, depending on whether New Orleans chooses to use this pick that they got Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. Lakers have discussed internally the possibility of packaging 3 picks, along with players they already have on their books to pursue a bona fide star, such as Donovan Mitchell of the Cavs or Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. We talked about this. I prefer Donovan Mitchell over Trae Young. But to land Donovan Mitchell, you got a lot of things that got to go your way. That's why I was a fan of trying to make things happen this trade deadline, because you just have no idea what the summer will hold for you. So, of course, everyone would like the idea of having Donovan Mitchell. Just the question is getting your hands on him. That ain't going to be easy. It's not like the Lakers just going to be sitting there saying, hey, if we want him, he's there for us. 3 first-rounders, awesome, great. I'm not telling you that there isn't value there. You got some good role players. You can figure out a way to get that contract in place, but you're going to need a lot of things to go your way. So there is a little bit of smoke there. I mentioned Bill Ryder, the sources tell CBS, complicating factor whether or not Lakers get an impact play in the next 24 hours is the belief within the organization they could have a chance to acquire Donovan Mitchell this summer. All right, I'll believe it when I see it. Let's get to some of your comments here. Look, Sammy, here's the thing that I don't know. I don't know if you gave me the info first or if Skimmer 930 had it before you did. Okay. I want Mitchell, Sliwa. That would feed villages. Little shout out here to Sammy. Okay, Richard. Don't let it get to his head here. I know Sammy's already in the background trying to figure out how to get me fired. Okay, let me read a couple more of these. Trae is a clutch client, 100% right about that. Trae more realistic than Mitchell, but also that ain't happening. The Trae one, that one is a little bit more interesting. I don't think that's a player that I want to start my franchise with. But that one maybe could potentially be more realistic if Atlanta's in a complete rebuild mode. But somebody help me out with this. They got the second best record in the Eastern Conference. It's the Cavs, and they want to trade Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers and just start a rebuild with 3 draft picks. I don't know. That doesn't jive for me. You're going to need so many things. I know. Usually we like to look at things and just look at it from a Laker fan perspective. There's also another franchise on the other side that's going to have to want to do a deal with you as well. So it seems a little all over the place for me. By the way, really nice chatting here. Look at you guys on a Laker off day here, getting it in. All right, let me read a couple more comments here, and then there's a couple more topics that I want to get into. Hopefully we can include Gabe and Rui in a package and get something pretty good in return. Rui's off and on. Gabe can't even get on the court. So you're really asking another team basically to say, okay, hey, we believe in them and we could figure it out. Okay, next topic here. Let's keep it moving here. I'll try to get to some of these comments. So how far can the Lakers go with no move? So I saw an article, and it was actually a conversation I've had at 710 ESPN as well. And part of the conversation was, how much can the Lakers just improve based on the players that they have? How much are the Lakers hesitating to say, okay, we may get Gabe Vincent back at some point. Cam Reddish is going to come back. Hopefully Rui plays more consistent basketball. He's got room to grow. D'Lo is balling right now. Hopefully D'Lo keeps doing what he's doing. The Vandal thing hurts because now he's going to be out, minimum 4 to 6 weeks before he's reevaluated. But how much can the Lakers just get better internally with what they have? How much of their, instead of going out and making a move and giving up another draft pick or trading D'Angelo Russell, if the Lakers don't make a move, how much confidence do we have that they could still make some noise and go from there? I will tell you this. No matter what happens between now and noon tomorrow, which is when the trade deadline ends, I'm sure there's going to be a relief for everybody. I'm sure there's going to be a relief for the front office. I'm sure there's going to be a relief for players. I'm sure there's going to be a relief for the coaching staff, because at noon tomorrow, I'll be doing my radio show when this is all going down. At noon tomorrow, there is no more chatter about trades. It's gone. It's done. And the team that you have is the team that you're going to fight with the rest of the way. Yeah, you might grab somebody from the buyout market or whatever the case is. But I think just having that clarity, I think, is going to be good for the Lakers. We've been talking about the Lakers. When did Zach LaVine's name come up for the first time? Zach LaVine's name came up, I don't even think we were at Thanksgiving. No, it was well before Thanksgiving. Hell, when D'Angelo Russell signed his contract in the offseason, one of the first things that we said, right when that contract was signed, we are asking the questions. We're like, okay, well, how many years is it? Okay. How many of those years are guaranteed? Is there a no trade clause? I mean, that conversation started the moment he signed. You were saying to yourself, okay, hey, this is a very tradable contract. At least by tomorrow, even if they don't make a move, I think just knowing what your roster is going to be like, and those questions are not there during the post game, and LeBron doesn't have to send an hourglass tweet, and we all have to spend 3 days talking about it. I think just that clarity is going to be helpful. How much more can the Lakers, how much can they improve internally? I got to be honest with you. They're so all over the place. It's a really, really tough question to ask, or it's a tough question to answer. Because would you be surprised tomorrow if the Lakers beat the Nuggets by 4 or 5? I think you'd be a little surprised just because it's the Nuggets. But would you be surprised they lost by 15? You wouldn't. And I think that's what's most confusing about the Lakers is every single night, like LeBron James said, they can beat anybody and they can get their ass kicked by anybody. Well, then how do I have an idea if the Lakers can improve a lot internally, or are they just going to be this Jekyll and Hyde that they've been all season long? All right, some of your comments here. All right, John, thank you very much for the super. I appreciate that. Hey, on fellow SDSU Aztec here. I believe that we will win. I was at the Aztec SDSU Utah State game on Saturday. So I'm with you, my fellow Aztec. And Sammy Long, who's interning now, he's a current Aztec. Do you prefer Trujillo's Tacos or Jack in the Box across the street from campus? Well, definitely Trujillo's, which is next to the gas station right there. I prefer those tacos, no question about it. Jack in the Box, those tacos had their certain moments, right? The 2 tacos, 99 cents. Those had their moments. I appreciate the super, John. I appreciate the super. Okay, let's see a couple of these comments here as we Trujillo's is Trujillo's. That's not easy to pronounce, guys. Interesting here. Please don't blame Pelinka. He's doing great. Just the players need to step up. I will tell you this. Hypothetically, if they didn't make a move, I wouldn't be mad at I actually would not be mad at Pelinka. I'll tell you why I wouldn't be mad. I would just think that he was being responsible and did not think there was a move out there to be made. Now, if he went out there and let's say he traded for DeJounte Murray and you felt like he gave up way too much, I'd be like, geez, or that's not even DeJounte Murray. That's a bad example. Any other player and he just made a move because he felt like he had to, then that would make me feel like he was maybe desperate is the right way to put it, but no, it might be desperate. Desperate might be the right word. Clay would be deadly on this Lakers team. I don't disagree with you on that. It'd be interesting what happens to Clay. It really will be. And I'm not even talking about this year. I'm just talking about in the offseason and everything else. I mean, I don't think he's going to get traded. So, yeah, we'll be curious to see what happens here. All right, let's see what else we got here. Are we in win now mode or rebuild team? That's basically what you are when you lose. Anyways, last time I checked with the Lakers, always in win now mode. Just don't make a dumb trade. I appreciate the chat there. Didn't know I was getting Jack in the Box question today, by the way. I didn't know that was coming in. I appreciate that, John. John and I are on the same page in that. Are they in win now mode? They are in win now mode. They're definitely not a rebuild team. The problem is they're in win now mode, but we're not sold that they can win now. That makes sense? They're in win now mode, but we're not sold that they can win. All right, let's see what else we got here. I got one other topic that I want to get into. And then I got a quick story that I got to tell you guys real quick. All right, just trying to find. I had a comment that I wanted to read. Okay. If there will be trades, it boils down to Ham using the new players for good rotations. Roy, appreciate the comment. Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's not just that. I think on top of that, even if there aren't any trades made, I think part of the frustration with some of these Laker fans is making sure that the rotations that they have right now are the right rotations, playing the right players together, who's getting the most minutes, why certain players are getting certain playing time, who's closing the games. That's going to be on Darvin Ham too. We all know that's going to be on Darvin Ham. Okay. Another topic I want to get into. How much should the Lakers accommodate LeBron? This is an interesting one for me because, when LeBron sent out that hourglass and people, I was listening to Dave McMenamin, Brian Windhorst yesterday. I was doing a Lakers talk on radio, and part of my conversation on there, I played a piece of sound where he's saying that LeBron wants the Lakers to be aggressive. I get what LeBron wants. And I think the Lakers have very similar interests to what LeBron wants. LeBron wants a championship. LeBron wants a chance for a championship. LeBron wants to improve the roster as much as he possibly can as he's running out of time in the NBA. So I think the Lakers and LeBron are in the exact same. That marriage exists for both the franchise and LeBron. I think they're on the same page when it comes to that. The problem with the Lakers and the problem with LeBron, you cannot accommodate to LeBron the way you used to. You just can't. And if LeBron has that player option at the summer to where he can walk away from the Lakers, I get that. I get that he can use that against the Lakers. And I don't blame him for using that against the Lakers. At this stage of his career, he wants to win. This is his strategy. This is what he's done everywhere. He's held the Cleveland Cavaliers hostage, the Miami Heat, but that's fine. I'm okay with players using their power because they want to win. At the same time, Lakers have some power too. The Lakers' power is, okay, we can't be careless. We can't make moves to accommodate LeBron James, especially at a time where we have no idea if this Lakers team can actually truly win a playoff round or not. I don't think that's a guarantee that the Lakers can win a playoff round. And LeBron's not 32 or 35 or 37. He's 39. So it's different than it was in the past. So how much should the Lakers accommodate LeBron? They should accommodate LeBron all the way up to the point to where it just doesn't make sense for the franchise. So, I get it. Bron wants to win. Maybe he wants the Lakers to be aggressive. Maybe he doesn't care about, the position that the Lakers are in. Maybe he doesn't care about the future of the Lakers because he's trying to win right now. I get that. I understand it. And for a franchise that typically is always in win mode now, I think the Lakers actually align very much with what LeBron wants. But there comes a point where I'm sure that they're saying to themselves, okay, well, that just doesn't make sense for us to do this or do that because in 3 years, we're going to need this or we're going to need that. That could be a pick, a player, or whatever the case is. Okay, a couple more of these comments here. LeBron takes off every other defensive play, then has the nerve to get mad at all our young guys for not giving max effort. LeBron needs to be the lead example. Listen, you're not wrong here. Can I just remind you guys here real quick? The man is 39 years old. He is 100% trying to pace himself, I guess you can say. I do think come playoff time, he is a different player. And when he wants to turn it on, I think he can. I think he also understands he can't do it for 82 games. He just can't. It's not possible. It's not possible for him to do that. All right, very well said. Don't put the future of our franchise at stake, but stay in the win now mode is what makes sense. Rui is good, just needs consistent playing time. Plays great as general's leader. D'Lo having fun playing free. Prince plays better when he plays less, doing his thing. Hayes can be good if used right. People liking the jacket, appreciate that. Okay, we're coming up to the end here. So if you got any last comments here that you want to throw in, feel free to. But we're going to come to the end. Shout out to Sammy Long. Sammy Long's doing a great job here. He's kind of organizing everything in the background. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. Because it was tough sledding here to start off with, you know. Okay, I got a quick story for everybody here. If you've been on this channel for a long time, one time I told a story and then somebody said, call it story time with Sliwa. And then they wanted these stories. And I don't want to just throw stories out there that I don't think are interesting or I don't think are funny or whatever the case is. I got a quick story. Has nothing to do with sports. Okay. So about a week ago, this is actually a little bit of a hot take. Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to hate it. But you know what? You can't win them all. About a week ago, my girl and I are walking. And we're here in Pasadena. We're going for a walk. And there were girls out there selling Girl Scout cookies. And she's like, hey, you want to get some Girl Scout cookies? I'm like, okay, let's go to work. Let's get some Girl Scout cookies here. I want to see. Because, okay, okay. All right. So we all know the Girl Scout cookies. So she goes, yes. I said, yeah, get some Girl Scout. I said, just kind of get whichever ones you want. And I kind of said that, but I already had in my mind which Girl Scout cookies I already had in my head, the ones that I wanted. Okay. And I think we all everybody has their own favorite ones. So I was like, look, if she grabbed some of those peanut butter sandwich ones, okay, it's good. Let's grab some of those. The Samoas are my favorite ones. Those are my favorite ones. I'm hoping that these are the ones that she's grabbing, but I'm not saying anything. You know, I'm kind of trying to be the nice, kind of cool. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, it's on the house. Don't worry about it. It's a $5 box of cookies. I'm making it sound like I'm getting us a suite in Vegas at a top-notch hotel. I'm like, help yourself. So, I'll tell you which one she comes back with. She got the Thin Mints. Okay? This is the one she got. She got the Thin Mints. Okay? Thin Mints. What the hell are these? These are the most overrated Girl Scout cookies that are out there. Okay? Shout out to Girl Scout cookies, all right? I'm not going after Girl Scout cookies. Shout out to Girl Scout cookies. Thin Mints? I think these are the number one seller, too. I looked at the ranking here. I was looking at the ranking because once I had, one or two Thin Mints, I'm like, what is this? How are these flying off the shelves? I start looking at there's like a power rankings. You guys know the power ranks come out on NBA.com and ESPN. They go through their power rankings. Like right now, you'd probably have, I don't know, Denver at number 1, Boston at number 1. Thin Mints, number 1? Am I missing something here? Am I the only one that think Thin Mints are the most overrated of the Girl Scout cookies? We have so many other ones that we could have got. I sort of told her, like, what are we doing with these? Look at the one she wanted. I don't know what you guys want me to tell you, but I can't figure this out. I mean, everybody knows. Look, Samoas are the best ones. What is this? Thin mints are the best? This is the thing that I don't understand. Everybody's trying to tell me that everybody's trying to, I guess, explain to me that I'm missing the boat here. I had plenty of these Thin Mints. I'm gonna get in here right now and have another one. By the way, you could tell I haven't had many. There's a whole roll here that's untouched. Look at this one. Look at this one. We've had these for a week just sitting there. Okay, my review of it. They're not better than the Samoas, the peanut butter ones, the peanut butter sandwich ones. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to go take them back. The girls that sold them to me. I'm going to say, what are these? How are these on the shelf? I don't know what you guys want me to tell you, man. I got people telling me to put them in the freezer. Thin Mints don't dip good in milk. They don't. I'm bringing this up to Travis tomorrow when we're doing this thing. I mean, I don't know what you guys want me to tell you. Everybody's talking about, the Thin Mints. They're the best. These aren't the best. Got a power ranking out here. I'm not putting this on my power ranking. Thin Mints the GOAT. Somebody help me out with this. Thin Mints #1. Okay, Thin Mints frozen. That might be a little interesting. Thin Mints frozen might be a little interesting. I feel like I have Colgate in my mouth right now. I got like the Aqua Fresh peppermint in my mouth. All right, well, there's a lot of people coming at me. That's fine. You come at me all you guys want. All you guys want. Yeah, there's a lot of Samoas. Samoas, is that the way you pronounce it? Yeah. No, those are pure. I don't understand it, man. I don't know what to tell you guys. Peanut butter sandwiches are the best cookie of all time. That I could live with. I could live with a peanut butter cookie. So I had to get that in here. I'll put up a poll on my YouTube, and you guys can just tell me what you think. But let's just say this. If Thin Mint is on the top of your list, you know what? I want you to unsubscribe from this channel. We're separating. We're separating. That's it. I'm actually, you know, people ask for subscribers. I'm actually desubscribing if Thin Mints is #1 on your list. All right, that's all we got. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're done. If we're doing this and now we're getting into the Thin Mints world and everything else, tastes like toothpaste. Look, we're all on the same page here. You guys know what I'm talking about. I think we're all on the same page here. Okay. Trade deadline tomorrow. There's no transition. There's no smooth transition here. Trade deadline tomorrow at noon. I appreciate you guys hanging out for the entire episode, all those Laker topics, and then the Thin Mint chat. Shout out to Girl Scout cookies, by the way. I mean, this is clearly we're talking about the cookie, but support them. Go buy the Girl Scout cookies. I'm just saying Thin Mints to be #1. I don't understand it. Shout out to Sammy Long, who is making things happen in the background. I appreciate his help today. Laker fans, I'll get back with you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, Lakers taking on the Denver Nuggets. Busy day tomorrow. Noon, you got the trade deadline. 3:30, you got the Kobe statue unveiling. 7 o'clock, you got the Denver Nuggets, arguably the best team in the NBA, defending NBA champs, coming back to Crypto.com Arena, where they swept the Lakers yesterday or last year in the playoffs. So very, very busy day tomorrow. I'll be busy as hell, but I will be back here tomorrow after the game, and we'll talk some Lakers basketball. So thank you for being a part of the show. Get the hell out of here. Everybody get the hell out of here. That's it. Go to bed. Call it a night, Laker fans. Call it a night. We'll see you guys.